Welcome, everybody, to Ringsiders Wrestling. Today, we're joined by another Ring of Honor star. He's a two-time World Tag Team Champion, part of the Foundation. It's Rhett, Titus. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, we always love speaking to the Ring of Honor guys. This is actually our 25th Ring of Honor interview we've done. So,
oh, wow.
We've been hoping to get someone from the Foundation for a while. So we're super chuffed to be speaking with you today. So, Rhett, how's life been? I mean, it's been a crazy year. Everyone I've been talking to from Ring of Honor has been saying crazy year, but they've been so well looked after by Ring of Honor. Is that the same for you as well?
Yeah, Ring of Honor really took the safest approach out of all the wrestling promotions when it came to the pandemic and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I remember I was in Vegas when we landed, and all of a sudden, it was like, hey, the shows are canceled. And it's like, what? The shows are canceled? Like, what's going on here? Like, how serious is this virus,
Yeah.
Because I know all the money that it takes to put on a pay-per-view and to have the satellite trucks and all the talent out there. And, they just went poof, canceled. And then all of a sudden, you figure you're going to have like 2 weeks off or something. And all of a sudden, every other show is canceled after that, and you're just sitting at home for months and months and months. But, we never missed a check. Check was never late, nothing like that. They took care of us the whole time.
Yeah.
And then eventually when it was time to go back to work, they made sure that we were doing it in the safest way possible and that everybody was tested multiple times and, masks and anything they could do. The bubble in itself. And after every match, the canvas would be changed and the ropes would be cleaned, turnbuckles, whole 9 yards. So they really made every effort to make it as safe as possible for everybody there.
That's so good to hear. I mean, I think every company just about did the best they could, but I feel like Ring of Honor really stepped it up a notch during the pandemic. I was saying the other day to, quite in one of the other interviews we did, I feel like Ring of Honor took the opportunity and decided to make something of it during the pandemic. They really decided to go back to the roots with the Pure division, something the Foundation knows all about. How do you feel like Ring of Honor adapted during this time? Do you feel like they made the most of that time to try something new?
Well, I was watching a lot of this empty arena wrestling and, the fans in the crowd being wrestlers and that sort of thing. And the Thunderdome and all those crazy things. And one thing I noticed throughout all this is that the most entertaining matches were the matches that were just focused on, wrestling, like you would watch Daniel Bryan or, Timothy Thatcher, Matt Riddle, Claudio, guys like that. The guys could really wrestle. And those were the best matches. So Ring of Honor, bringing the Pure division back with an empty arena was the best thing that could have happened to the Pure division and to Ring of Honor at the time. Because, you weren't so worried about the theatrics of wrestling and the crowd being in there. It was just more so about the wrestling, the pure wrestling and everything that goes on inside the squared circle. So that was definitely refreshing as someone who loves professional wrestling myself. It really gave us all the time to just focus on the wrestling aspect of things, which couldn't had a better time to do it. And, now that the fans are starting to trickle back in, and getting adapted to the Pure rules and stuff, definitely makes for an interesting element. So, but, the Pure wrestling is, my favorite type of wrestling. So, luckily for me, I've been able to excel in it and had a good time, doing all the empty arena tapings and that sort of thing.
I mean, for someone like yourself, having been in Ring of Honor, over various stints, but first stint was 2006, you must have fond memories of the early Ring of Honor, because for me, early Ring of Honor is some of the best wrestling of all time. I don't think it can be touched. So to see this Pure division come back over the last year and a half, that must be incredibly nostalgic for you as well.
Yeah, I remember being a a student or a graduate or young wrestler in the in ringside security and watching all these great pure title matches. Nigel McGuinness was one of the best pure champions, that the division had ever seen. And I got to watch all of his matches from ringside and learn. And it was so sad to see it go. And just because it was always something different on the show and had that different rules, and it always added a different element. So it was very sad to see it go, but amazing to see it come back, especially in when it came back in 2020. Pure wrestling was kind of like, I don't want to say non-existent, but it was one of those things where, high flying and, crazy, like lucha libre style wrestling. It kind of, took center stage in America, and hopefully, with the pure division and Ring of Honor really pushing things forward, that pure wrestling can take center stage in 2021 and going into 2022.
How important do you feel like the foundation are to the pure division right now? I mean, do you feel like there is a pure division without the foundation?
I mean, we are the guys that are really pushing the pure division forward, and we're kind of like, the gatekeepers of the pure division. Yeah. So making sure that everybody, abides by the code of honor, and, that their intentions of being in the pure division are actually pure. Some people are trying to use the pure division to, for their own benefit. But at the end of the day, what we are really set on is restoring honor amongst Ring of Honor and making sure that pure wrestling is back at the center.
You're making sure people don't use it as a stepping stone. So
exactly.
Because it's not a stepping stone to you guys. It's pure wrestling, right?
Yeah, pure wrestling. And, Ring of Honor has been a very great home for me for, 15, 16 years. I was in attendance at the very first Ring of Honor show ever. And I was like, oh my gosh, like
really?
This is wrestling. Yeah, this is wrestling like I'd never seen it before. Like this is what I want to do with my life. This is where I want to be. And fast forward to 2021, I'm center stage, fighting to bring back that honor that I first saw in 2002 at the Murphy Rec Center.
Can you remember the main event of that show? Because
of course, how could I
forget? Triple threat by any chance?
Yeah. Low Key versus American Dragon versus Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, seen that.
Yeah. I could probably remember every match on that show. Just because it had such an impact on me, and I was like 13 or 14 at the time, and I was just like, this is awesome, because I had gone to indie shows, and my first like ECW show, I was 6 years old when I went to the ECW arena for the first time. But it was like one of those things where wrestling was kind of like punch kick, chair, table, blah, like, and that was just like the norm, and then when Ring of Honor came along, I was like just amazed by like what was going on. And I often say that if I always wanted to be a professional wrestler, but had I not gone to that first Ring of Honor show and fell in love with Ring of Honor, I may have never actually followed through with it.
That makes a lot of sense. I've heard that before. There's always that one show that makes you, once you see your first live show, you realize this is what you want to do. You can watch it on TV as a kid and you want to be a professional wrestler, but when you see your first live show, you really do realize that's what you want to do as your job, don't you? Like, so many people have said that before, and I think it's so cool. I think, I'm nearly 33, so we're a similar age.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw Ring of Honor the first time, I'd only seen WWE and some WCW. So when you see your first Ring of Honor show, it kind of blows your mind, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
I'd never even heard of ECW really, because I'm from the UK. We got very little wrestling. So when I found out about Ring of Honor, I was like, there's other wrestling. And, there's Bryan Danielson doing all these crazy moves, Amazing Red doing all these flips. And I can only imagine as, somebody like yourself who got into wrestling, looking back on that, you must think that's the coolest thing ever to now be in that promotion yourself. And not only have you been in that promotion, you've been a champion there. Like,
Yeah.
how does that feel?
Man, at the end of the day, sometimes I just have to pinch myself and be like, man, like, is this us all one big like fever dream or something? That I've been living for the past 15, 16 years. I mean, obviously when I first started, it was a lot more surreal, because I looked up to these guys like like heroes and icons and that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden I'm in the same locker room as them. And then eventually I got to, become friendly with these guys and then eventually wrestle these guys. And I was like, I never thought, cause like you always like, have aspirations and you can picture yourself doing this stuff. But, at the end of the day, to actually be doing it, you're like, wow, like, this is like out of control, so very, very surreal. And then, to win championship gold in Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. I remember, being in attendance when the first Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, Donovan Morgan and Christopher Daniels, were crowned. And I was like, this is pretty cool. And then, at the time I had no aspirations to be a tag team wrestler, kind of just like, came to be over the years and, having success with different tag teams and that sort of thing. But, to look back on it now, it's just been an amazing ride.
Well, speaking of the future, I ask a few people this, and I hate to use the cliche term, the forbidden door, but with Ring of Honor and all these other companies getting involved with each other at the moment, would you rather see Ring of Honor focus solely on itself, or do you want to see them get involved with this forbidden door? I've asked a few people, and Will Ferraro was saying last week he would like to see Ring of Honor just focus on Ring of Honor and build up their own guys instead of playing with the other companies. How do you feel? What would you like to see?
Lock the door and throw away the key.
Love that.
We got a good thing going on at Ring of Honor, and when you start playing around with this promotion, that promotion, it kind of muddies the waters a little bit. We have a great group of guys that should be the focus of our show. We don't need other people coming in and trying to take away some of that focus. And, right now, Ring of Honor's focus should just, solely be on, getting more eyes on our product and, find, even though we have Fight TV at 7:00 on Mondays, it'd be nice to really have a nice one spot at one time where everybody can watch the show. And that's the only time that it plays. Maybe a replay here and there, but that should be our focus, and just developing new talent. Ring of Honor makes the wrestling world go around. It's been like that for years and years, and I'm pretty sure it's going to continue to be that way.
I really do hope so, man, because I can't imagine an independent. It's not even independent anymore. I'm so used to saying it. I can't even imagine a wrestling scene without Ring of Honor. It's become, I guess, the foundation of wrestling. I can't imagine wrestling without Ring of Honor. So I hope you're right. I hope it stays around for a long time to come.
Yeah, like back in the day, like when Dragon Gate came over to Ring of Honor, WrestleMania weekend in 2006, that really, nobody had ever seen, a 6-man tag like that before, or tag team wrestling like that. And that really started to change things going forward. And, and then when all the Ring of Honor wrestlers like Tyler Black and Bryan Danielson and CM Punk started, heading over to WWE and completely changed the style of WWE. And, now when you look on TV of pro wrestling, it's a lot different than it was 15 years ago. And
you can see the influence of Ring of Honor and PWG in the current day WWE products. Without Ring of Honor and PWG, I think there'd be much less main eventers in AEW, WWE. The whole wrestling landscape looks different. So
yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Before we wrap up, Rhett, obviously Tell us where we can find your merchandise, where we can see you on a weekly basis, and where we can find you on social.
Oh, so if you guys were interested in a t-shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/Rhett Titus ANX or shophonor.com. Search Rhett Titus, get one of my Ring of Honor t-shirts over there. Thank you for the support if you're inclined to do so. Or if you'd like to follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram at Rhett Titus ANX. That's RHETTTITUS Facebook.com/Rhett Titus, YouTube.com/Rhett Titus. And also, I'm even on TikTok at Rhett Titus. Don't really know what I'm doing on there. Don't really go on there too much, but if you're on there, I'm on there. So go ahead and follow me on there as well.
Fantastic. You've done that before. You remembered all those way too easy.
Yeah. It's like knowing it like the back of my hand, right?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Rhett. Much appreciated. Hopefully we'll speak to you again soon. Until next time, we've been Ringsiders Wrestling.
Thank you very much. It was an honor.